How's it going today? I'm going to talk about a couple success stories on offer and acceptance, and you're going to love this. I had a friend, went to his house. He's my mechanic, and we just hung out together for a while. And I go to his house one morning, and he says, "Oh, guess who showed up today?" I was like, "No idea." He's like, "The sheriff." I was like, "The sheriff?" And I was like, what they want? He said, "Well, they served me a subpoena to go to court." And I said, he told me what it was for and all that. And I said, "Well," I kind of was joking, and I was like, "So you're going to like take this back and cancel this? Or are you going to just keep it and lay it on the table there and accept it?" He had no idea really about offer and acceptance until I explained this. Well, he's in the bathroom, which is like right there, and he can look out the door, as he's brushing his teeth and all that type of stuff as he's talking to me. And he pokes his head out, and he's kind of smiling, and he's like, "So what do I do?" And I said, "You ready to go right now? I got the gas. I'll take you over there, and you can take this back and give this back to him." He's like, "I don't want to go mess with him." I'm like, "Well, you're not messing with him. In offer and acceptance, if you keep this, then you accept it." So then he says, "So you're saying if I take this back, this is over, I don't have to go to court, nothing's going to happen because I refuse this." I said, "That's exactly what I'm saying." So he brushes his teeth, he gets his shirt on, and we get out in the car, and he's just shaking his head at me laughing. So as on the way we're going there back to the clerk's office to drop this off, this presentment, I'm telling him the whole way, when you take this in there, no matter what they do, it has to stay in that building. You have to leave it there because you have to show that you refused it. And if they can trick you or threaten you or coerce you or anything like that, then you've accepted it. I mean, they didn't twist your arm or break your arm. They just tricked you and kind of coerced you. Big deal. And I explained to him, no matter what happens, you give that back to them. You walk in there, you say, "I have a question," you spin it around on the table, and you just dip. And he's laughing because he's like, "You're going to get me in trouble." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to get you in trouble." So he goes in, he walks down the hallway, through the metal detector, down the hallway, walks in this office, and he says, "I got a question." And the clerk stands up. She's really nice and chipper that day. And they're basically nice and decent people. And he spins the paper around. He said, "Right there." And she's like, "Where?" And he runs to the door. He's like, "I don't accept this." He's like, "And I'm returning this to you." She said, "Wait." She said, "This is yours. You're supposed to show up to court." Well, he dips out the door, and he goes down the hallway. And she went through the back offices, and I'm sure papers were flying, and she was knocking stuff over. She went all the way through the back hallway and out to the metal detector. My friend gets to the metal detector, and she's there panicking. She's panicking like beyond belief. And she just ran the 50-yard dash in like 5 seconds. And the officer takes it out of her hand, puts it in his chest, and says, "This is for you. You got to show up to court, and this is the subpoena for you to be there." And he said, "And you've been served." As soon as he moved his hand, the paper went pshh. And he said, "No, it looks like you've been served," because he listened to what I said. He comes out to the car. He's running. He gets in the car. He's panicking. He's breathing so hard. I'm like, "Where are they coming? They chasing us?" And he said, "Oh man, stop it." Well, we had a laugh, but the case was over. They never bothered him again. And that's a success story for the offer and acceptance, and that's a true story. Now, another lady, a friend of mine, unfortunately, had a son pass away in a fire. And they weren't real liked on that street. And to make a long story short, the son died of smoke inhalation in the garage, and she tried her best to get this young man out of there. Great guy. And she just couldn't do it. She's 98 pounds and he's 180. Just wasn't happening. Well, he passes away, and you're outside and they're in the ambulance and the police are there and all the investigations going on. And however this smoke and fire started, there really wasn't a fire till later, but the smoke did him in. However this happens, a mystery. But the young lady didn't kill her own son. I mean, come on. There's just no way. He was in there smoking a cigarette because they didn't smoke in the house. Somehow he caught things on fire. And, you know, the police decided they was going to try to get her to enter into a contract that she killed her own son. And, you know, it's just, it's ridiculous. Well, you know, even at the hospital they come and try to talk to her. And, you know, it's a horrible time for a family when something like that happens. But they actually tell them that they're not entering into a contract with them and it's a bad time. And the boyfriend, you know, yelled at them and the police leave. Well, you know, they come with a warrant to search the place. You know, they kind of find a couple little pipes, you know, they smoke tobacco out of. I mean, come on. And they, you know, give her this paperwork, and all the things they go find has nothing to do with the death of her son. But, you know, the rifle that they took, and they tried to say all these things, and, you know, the lady asked me, because she heard the success story from my friend that I just told you. She asked me, what's the best thing to do so I don't have to go through all this, because you know I'm innocent, I didn't do anything wrong, I did everything I could. And I said, well, you know, you have to give this back to them. And she did. She drove over there. She went in the clerk's office and said, I'd like to return this to you, and I reject this offer. And the clerk says, you know, what are you talking about? And she said, you know, I'm innocent, I don't accept this, and I'm rejecting this. And she says to the clerk, don't act stupid, this is serious. And the clerk says, well, I'm not acting stupid. She said, I've been a clerk for 31 years here at this office, and I have never seen this before. And she said, well, unfortunately, that's no good. I'm not accepting it, and have a nice day. And she never got charged with anything. The case went away. It was horrible enough that the son dies. So, you know, it's just another success story where someone rejected things timely because they were innocent and they shouldn't have to go through this. But people accept things and keep them, and then it causes all these problems because inside that ship, the courthouse, the vessel, they're the boss, the judge is the captain, and you know the prosecutor's like the first mate, and whatever he says goes, and it's like all these magic things going on. And that's why you don't accept an offer. Because if you accept an offer, it brings out all this magic and demons inside these buildings. And you know, you can't understand and you can't get away from it. You have to be responsible in a timely manner when you feel something's coming up against you or you've gotten an offer. So that's what I have for today. Review all my videos, please. Normally, you know, as normal, there's a video down here to donate, please. My number is 419-560-6337. Hope to hear from you soon.